So what? It's just sex.
Wait a minute.
Hey everybody, I'm Ron,
I'm Janelle.
and you're listening to
So What? It's Just Sex.
This podcast takes on the topics of sex in and out of relationships.
And we aim to normalize talking about sex by removing the stigma of asking for what you want in and out of the bedroom.
From time to time, we'll have guests on the show.
And go out into the world and explore what sex looks like for us and other people.
Come with us on this wild ride, and hopefully we will open up your sexual world or at least make you feel normal.
You can find us on most podcast platforms.
Like iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play Store, etc.
And of course, don't forget to follow us or subscribe. And please rate us.
You can also visit our website, sowhatitsjustsex.com.
And our email address is info@sowhatitsjustsex.com.
We're also on social media at SoWhatIt'sJustSX on Twitter and Instagram, and on Facebook, it's at SoWhatIt'sJustSex. Also, we're on Podbean.com.
And of course, all of these are on our website.
Thank you so much for listening.
We hope you enjoy this episode as much as we enjoy recording it.
This is So What? It's Just Sex. Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, Janelle?
Hey,
How are you this week?
I'm all right.
All right. It's nice to see you.
What is wrong with you?
What do you mean? This is how I talk on every show.
No, it's not.
No, it is. This is my voice.
That's definitely not your
No,
voice.
is it? No. Okay, you got me. Well, because like the feedback, I just got some feedback that said that you're very sexy.
Oh.
And then I realized that I'm not sexy
You're trying to
enough.
compete
So I'm
now.
just, I'm bringing it down.
Who said
I'm
that's
just-
sexy?
No, well,
Did you get feedback?
Yeah,
to
well,
say that was sexy?
No, I assume that's like, hey, everybody, it's so what?
You
It's
sound like
just
you're like a
sex.
75-year-old white man with a gray hair and gray beard.
What are you talking about? That was sexy.
Smoky Mountain right
Yeah,
now.
no, hey, what's up? I'm trying to make all the women wet listening.
That's not gonna
Give
work.
them something.
That's not gonna work. I promise.
All right,
you.
well, I'll try again next time. But
You know,
I wanted
I'm-
to be sexy. Like,
well, I'm
you
glad.
get all like like everything is like, oh, your show's really great, man. Your wife is so sexy. Her voice, oh my god. And I'm like, yeah, no, but I'm also sexy, right? They're like, meh.
Which is actually pretty funny because I got made fun of for my laugh like throughout school. Like, because I laugh loud, I talk loud.
Everyone, the people like, what is it? Good Girl Gone Bad in London was like your laugh is infectious. Everybody talks about like every time you laugh, they can't stop laughing.
I know, and coming from her, it's like such a compliment.
Oh,
'cause
I know.
She has a sexy fucking voice.
But everybody thinks so. I was just trying. I was bringing the sexy. So this is
Okay.
like
I'm
this
bringing
is not
sexy back. No.
All right, well, I guess I digress. Back to my normal whiny, high pitched. Hey, everybody, it's Ron from So What? It's Just Sex.
That's not real.
People would be like, oh yeah, no, I get it now.
Get out of here.
But we have a guest this week, my
we
love.
do.
We have Anthony. What's up, Anthony?
What's up, guys? I'm just sitting here and watching you guys with that. It was-
Banter.
Yeah, it's good banter. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is
Well,
it-
for the record, I think the way you speak is just fine.
Oh, thank you.
So,
But it's
I
not
think-
sexy. I want dripping.
Who cares, man? It's just you-
vaginas. I want panties soaking wet when they're done listening. I want girls waiting to have sex with me. I want a girl.
Right, but you don't realize nowadays like there's this term called sapiosexual where women are more attracted to the mind, the mind that is Ron Bello. Come on,
Who? Wait, what women are? Where are they?
they happen to be everywhere.
What kind of what kind of porn do they watch? TED Talks?
Yep.
They're just sitting there going, "Oh, tell me more about the space-time continuum."
Tell me more how I can improve my morning routine.
How can I be more happy and grateful?
I feel like you'd be like, "I'm out of here."
No, I just need to see dicks and
Yeah.
dicks and more dicks.
Dicks, and more dicks.
Dicks and more dicks. No, I'm fine with intellectual people. Like that's
Yeah.
cool, but I don't know. I'm not sapiosexual, I guess.
Right.
I'm
But
just
there, I
sexual.
mean, those women do exist.
So where's my SS out there?
Calling all your...
No, do not say SS. Don't harken back to the
To the
40s.
neo-Nazis.
Come on, man. Come on. Don't you do it. No, don't you? Yeah.
Well, I'm bringing
Sapio.
SS back. I'm meaning it for something different.
That is just
That's not good.
so uncomfortable.
So Anthony, why are you here? Who the fuck are you? Like, why would we have you on our show?
Because Ron and Janelle, you have been my dear friends for the last 8 years. Like, I met you 8 years ago. It was like 8 years and 2 months ago.
Was it that Napa Valley Roasting Company?
It was at
the-
an open mic.
It was at a,
Yeah, and then Ron said, "Dude, I think you have the potential to be funny."
No, I said you were funny. I was
Right.
laughing at
Yeah.
everything you said. No one else laughed. And let me tell you, I know what that feels like. I just had that experience a couple days. We're not going to talk
geez,
about it,
okay.
but I just had it. And
that was a dark moment.
Yeah.
That was a dark moment in history.
I think everybody has those
Yeah.
moments when they're up there when they're performing. But I don't know. It's just I started out in the comedy thing, which is funny because like I started out in comedy, but you're finishing in comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I've kind of gone behind the scenes and done more audio
And the production,
post production of pods.
So you can help us produce our pod?
I could. Yeah, with editing.
Yeah.
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 From pods.
Even though we don't edit. And I took so another.
So you don't edit. You just kind of put it up on the.
Yeah, we just cut the intro and then.
Yeah. One more time. Okay. All right.
So-
Is that what it sounds like?
So we met at an open mic,
About
and
8 years ago.
I gave you my digits, and
you hollered.
I hollered,
Yeah.
and then I was like, I've always wanted to do a podcast,
Yeah.
and then you were like, okay, and
Let's just do it.
let's just do it, and then so you came over, and we had the PC microphones,
Right.
We had like the really
With like the with the 48 or no was it 28 megahertz quality?
yeah. That first episode,
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
sad.
that first episode was something else,
It was like we recorded it on Xbox Live, you know? Yeah.
yeah, it was like oh, so
Right.
what are cinema? And then
Actually, I don't think it sounded that bad.
the first episode was really bad,
And
and
we
then
were just smoothing out the kinks.
yeah.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
we went to like I think we did like almost 40 episodes,
Yeah. And then we had the live thing at Silos.
and then
And then
that
I
was
got-
so fun.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
he kept making us do it like every
I
other
know,
week, and it was
I
like
just, I
we
just couldn't.
No, we
'cause My
can't.
schedule was so.
But it's not even that
unpredictable.
Who's gonna come to the same thing like 4 times?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should have been like a quarterly thing.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
at
do
the
it. You
very
do it
least.
once every few months.
Yeah.
But
But that was fun. And then I think after that we tried to revive it for a bit, but then you got a new job, and then it was just hard because your schedule was so unpredictable, and then
yeah.
you were just so busy with a whole bunch of stuff, and then I got busy with a whole bunch of stuff, and
Yeah, it was
And
just
then,
bad timing.
yeah.
But
And then the one thing that I think about is just because you were kind of like my godfather of podcasting. I always like hearken to you every time I'm on I help start a new show, or I'm doing a new show now. Like I gave up all the other podcasts I'm working on, and then it's funny that yours is sex based and relationship based, and my podcast that I'm working on now is relationship based and
Oh.
self love and
Yeah.
self improvement based. Yeah,
That's awesome.
we
just-
should join pods.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that?
Well, I would like to have you
that
guys
would
on a
great-
pod
That'd be
Yeah.
great.
one time. Yeah.
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 Well, we talk about that too. We talk about self-love and I don't know much about self-improvement, but
Right.
self-love and loving your body and,
Yeah.
sex
Yeah.
positive is I
Yeah,
guess what
definitely
we're
sex
into.
positive stuff.
Yeah.
But that's how we met. We met so long ago, and it
It
was
was 8 years ago.
it was like
crazy.
the birth of the podcast itch.
Yeah, the
You
pod
know,
itch. You
the,
can't
the
you
pod
can't-
itch,
yeah,
right? Because
yeah,
the kids nowadays, you
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
So
Biz quiz.
is your podcast out yet?
Yeah, it's I'm still waiting on approval from Spotify and Apple Podcast and Google Podcast and
What's it
all these
called?
other. It's called the Lens of Love Podcast. So it's me trying to look at love with a clearer perspective.
Yeah.
And it's just basically me interviewing people who are in relationships, people who are single. I went to North Carolina last week and I interviewed a licensed marriage family therapist and his wife, who's a coach, like a
Sex
Life-
coach?
personal coach,
A life coach?
Like a
like a
sex
life
coach?
coach.
life
no,
coach. No, life coach.
All right, you're gonna want to take your
But-
balls, and you're gonna want to pinch them,
Yeah,
so that it
yeah.
lasts longer.
Yeah, so like relationships mainly.
that's cool.
Yeah. I interviewed my dad and my stepmom,
Oh,
which was that episode should be out.
What
in
kind
about a month.
what kind of questions do you ask?
I
I'm
ask
curious.
I ask him. Well, for my parents, it was all about like what was it about like 40 plus years later that you guys wanted to be together after all this time.
Yeah.
So
so
stuff like that.
what would you like? Just pick one question off
Yeah.
the cuff. What would you ask us?
I would ask you guys what were the beginnings of your relationship and what was it about the last 20 plus years that made you guys stay together or what was your journey like along the way? Because I think social media kind of paints this picture where everything's all good and happy, but nobody understands the horrific part of dating and being in a relationship and trying to contribute and trying to find that balance with yourself and for your partner and
Right.
for your partner to do the same. So
Yeah. It's
What-
hard.
What would
it
you
is
say?
difficult.
It's hard.
I just
Yeah.
got asked this question at work the other day.
It's horrific.
Why?
Yeah, so this guy was asking me. He was like, "You've been married for a long time." He's like, "What's the deal?" And
I think that it comes down to a level of selflessness, right?
yeah,
And then mix in a little bit of self-care,
right,
and then also sex,
yeah,
and then also understanding,
yeah,
and then also just being like, you have to like be a complete person before you can complete somebody else type
Exactly.
of thing, you know?
Exactly.
So you have to be like totally comfortable with who you are and what you want before you can be in a relationship. And I was gonna say make someone else happy, but it's not my job to make him happy. Like
Right,
he has
right.
to be
He
happy,
has to be happy.
and I have to be happy, and then we can come together and be happy together.
Right.
So it took a long time to get to that point. I mean, it's been a job for 22 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that offends some people, but it has been like it's constant work, constantly paying attention to what each other needs,
Mm-hmm.
and also there has to be a level of acceptance as well. So if there has to be things where like it's like deal breakers. Like
Yeah.
if your partner shits on your bed every other Thursday, are you going to be able to live with that for the rest of your life?
Right.
So-
It's like the price of admission.
yeah. Let me
For the
piggyback
rent.
on that
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
what I told him was because he wanted like one of his things was he's with this girl and he needs to go move someplace so he can make his life easier.
Anthony?
No,
Ooh.
no, a person.
You said he, like you
Yeah,
know the person.
because I did. The person who
Oh,
asked
the
me
guy
the other.
that. Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just didn't know who you were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Welcome to the show.
You're like he, like I don't know
Yeah.
who you're fucking talking
Me?
So
about.
I'm talking about this person.
Gotcha.
So he has to do something where he has to move someplace so it could be better for him financially. But his girl wants him to move in with her and her 3 kids that are not his.
Ooh.
And he
Oh, that's a
is
lot.
and he's
That is
not
big.
he's not there yet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he said to me, he's like, I don't know what I'm like, well, I'm like we say all the time on the show, I'm not a therapist. You should seek professional counseling. Of
course.
But my opinion is there's a difference between love and lust.
Mm-hmm.
Lust is what we all have when it comes to just the basic primal need of sex. We all have lust. So whether it be with the person you love or the person you just met or the person you don't even know, there's lust there. Love comes in when he makes the decision to do what's easiest for him and she accepts that even though it's inconvenient for her. So
or vice versa.
or vice
Or vice
versa.
versa, yeah,
So
yeah.
if you do something that your partner doesn't agree with and they still love you anyways, that's love. And if you've never put them in a situation, which I think was a big problem with you and I, if you look back at everything, we never ever said no to each other per se, even when we were unhappy, until things blew up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like you moved to Arizona, even though that's not something you wanted to do until it blew up. Had we done it differently, been more honest and said the things that we wanted without fear that the other person was going to run away, which is hard because even, you always give that feeling, or at least I did, where I was like, if you don't do what I want, I'm going to bounce, which is
Right,
terrible on my part. But I never got taught anything differently because she never told me how bad it would affect her. So that open communication, that honesty, that like, no, and you should love me anyways, that is where people need to get more comfortable with. People
Yeah.
need to become more comfortable with doing their own thing and then trusting that the person they're with, if it's the right person, is going to respect that.
Right.
So that's the key to happiness.
Yeah, a lot of what I found
That's the key.
in my interviews with people is just having that ability for love and compassion too, and stating those things as such, and honesty is a big thing because I just got out of a relationship, like a long relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
I know.
asking him. I thought you had a girlfriend. I guess
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
your girlfriend anymore.
No, she's not. We broke up back in January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what
January, February.
happened?
Oh goodness.
We
We're
were.
going there.
Oh, we are. Yeah. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
What happened?
I wanted to get married, and she did not.
She didn't want to get married.
No.
Shit.
And you know what? Like,
What were her
looking,
reasons?
Looking
What-
back,
what
well,
were
I
her
didn't- see.
reasons?
That's the thing. I don't know. I never really asked her, but anytime I would bring up the conversation of marriage, she would get anxious about it, and then
Did her parents get divorced or something like that?
she got a divorce too.
Oh,
like
okay.
a long time ago.
So let's just put this out there. So a couple things
Yes.
I just want to interject. First off, we have not had a single man on our show.
yeah,
Yeah.
We've had women.
A
we've had
single man
women.
or a single man. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, we haven't
Yeah.
had just a guy or a guy that's not in a relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
you
we
know, so we've
haven't.
had couples, we've had females, but we've had, DGLG poly where
Oh
there's-
yeah.
You know, so
I remember that.
but we've never had just a single man. You
Just
are
me.
now a single
Yeah.
man,
I'm just
and
a single dude.
this is the thing that I've been screaming about. There's a part of society that's a representation of our type of man, the you and me man.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is
That's
the feels episode.
yeah, that's underrepresented.
This is the men have feels episode.
because no one's gonna believe.
I'm a sensitive dude.
Yeah, but no
That's
one-
the
So is
thing.
he, so
yeah,
is he.
yeah.
but no one's gonna
Yeah.
believe. I mean, they're gonna believe it because you're telling it. But no one
Right.
automatically assumes there's a relationship breaks up because the guy wanted to get married,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
and the girl didn't.
yeah.
I love it.
I love it too.
This is great. Tell me more.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Tell me,
more,
tell me more.
Like, did you have a car?
Is that so?
Grease.
With every episode, do you guys is that a thing? Like you just quote Grease lyrics? Is that
I think
is
so.
that
No, that's
That might be a thing.
yeah?
That
Because
might be a
I
thing.
noticed it in a
you're building
bunch
the
of episodes.
yeah. You're
What are
building
we-
the meta.
Yeah.
Our show's got meta.
Yeah.
Actually, Grease is pretty deep. Like
Yeah,
there are so many
yeah.
messages in that movie.
Oh yeah.
And I think people take it for granted. They don't even understand what they're watching when they
Yeah.
see it. You know,
we should do if this show goes well. We should have another one in a few months. That's like, come watch Grease with So What It's Just.
Oh
Sex.
yeah. Oh, I'd be down for that.
That is
Yeah,
so cute.
and we get like the projector at Lucky Penny.
Yeah.
well, they do it at the movie theater.
Grease
no.
lightning, go Grease lightning. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
So back to
Sorry.
you being
I totally-
sensitive,
I
and I'm
totally-
not the only guy on the planet.
yeah, I am.
Tell me
I'm
more.
a sensitive dude.
Yeah,
I have
So
feels.
So she wanted to get married.
No,
Like,
No,
I wanted
you-
to get
sorry,
married.
I meant to say
Wow.
that. You wanted to get married because that's like
that's
what's
how
na-
deep the stereotype
Yeah.
is. Though. But I mean, that's true. Like,
That's in my brain.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
people are surprised when I tell people that too. They're like, "Wait, you wanted to get married?" I was like,
So-
"Yeah, I wanted to get married.
and let's put some context.
Yeah.
You have a real job.
I'm a nurse.
Yeah, but like you
Yeah.
have like and you're not just a nurse.
I'm a nurse.
Don't you're
Yeah,
you're
no,
like
I'm just a
Okay.
nurse.
no
I'm
you're
just a
you're more
regular
than that. No,
dude.
you work with.
Tiny babies. Yeah,
I mean, you're like and you're a single dad.
right.
You know,
You're
ra-
an angel.
yeah, you have
You're a man
Thank you.
angel.
you
Yeah.
have all the checks. You're the checks.
So she's not here to explain what her position is.
No.
And,
And I
so
think that's
for
the
you,
thing.
like,
Yeah.
what was it like? Why was that a relationship ender that you wanted to get married and she didn't? Why not just stay in the relationship?
It was just, I think for me, it was like a year and a half of just burying those feelings
Mm-hmm.
too. And it just all came to a head during that time back in January, February. It was
yeah,
February.
yeah.
So it was because it started when our friends had gotten married. And then like, I was like, I think we're the next step in this. We have a friends group where, they're couples, right?
Right.
So I was thinking like, this is the next step, right?
The
for
pressure
us.
is on. The
Yeah,
pressure is
yeah.
on too.
Yeah.
And you intertwined with your kid and
Yeah, we were like Jamba Juice. We were a blended family.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's so many layers to that relationship.
So there was nothing else wrong. Like the sex was good, the friendship was good.
Oh,
But-
okay. Like the sex part was lacking.
Okay.
That,
So
and
there's
then-
more to it
and
than
then
just that.
The friendship part, I think, was breaking down because the serious conversations we used to have before that point in time, we weren't having as many because I wanted to talk about what we would do for marriage.
Yeah.
And she didn't. And there was just this anxiety that would creep up.
So created a divide.
Yeah.
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 Which is so interesting because you never really see like or hear about that
Right.
you just hear that like people are together and then they're not, and it's really just like one hated the other, but marriage is a thing, and some people want that, and some people have had that and don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's important that those conversations are had, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about that communication. And even when we talk about this all the time, but it's like, even if the conversation leads to not being together anymore, it needs to happen in the first, few years as opposed to 20 years later.
Yeah. This
So-
happened 5 years. 5 years in.
I don't know if I would have married Ron like today.
No,
No.
Okay.
we wouldn't have got
Definitely not.
married.
Definitely
Okay.
not. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Like we got married 10 days before we had been together a year,
Right.
and that was
And
how
then
it
it was
had to
just,
happen. It had to
And
happen
not just
that way.
being. No, I'm not.
I remember listening to your Origins episode.
Yeah, the Origins episode.
Yeah, episode 2.
Oh
Come
yeah,
on.
there's like a lot. There's a lot
Yeah.
of history. Yeah. So
our first time.
Yeah, exactly. So I only really married him because I was raised Catholic, and so that's what I felt like I needed to do. Like I had to have a husband and then probably have more kids. I already had a son at that point. So I already felt like I had did wrong by God and whatever at that point. So I was like, I had to make right and marry this man and create a family. But like, I don't think that that's necessarily indicative of love
Or
per
a healthy
se.
relationship.
Or a healthy relationship.
Yeah, because like for me, and I've said this to you before, I'm like, okay, so I grew up without a father, I meet this girl, she's got this awesome kid, they're both,
He was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And he is pretty awesome, actually.
yeah. So, they're both amazing. It's like, I don't want them to go through what I went through. And then Janelle and I were very similar in that fashion where we didn't have like fathers, we just had stepfathers.
We just had abandonment issues.
Yeah, so
okay.
I also did the same thing, where I was like, okay, show up every day, like I'm here, that's enough, So it's like, and you don't realize. I think I said this to my cousin in Arizona one time when she was like, "Oh, when did you know that you loved Janelle?" And I was like, "Yesterday and tomorrow. Like it's every day." Like,
Like that's the thing.
Yeah, like for me, it was love at first sight in the technical term, where the moment that I saw her, I knew I wanted to be with her for the rest of my life. But that doesn't. That's not the rest of your life. That's just that moment.
You're so cute.
Aww.
And I'm super sexy. That's right, ladies. I can love. But I guess that doesn't really count. I can't love everyone. I really only have enough room in my heart for one.
Well, so you talk. I know that's very sweet. He's very sweet.
Yeah.
But this is why we're together, right? Because he pays attention and he knows I like shit
Yeah,
like that.
and we fight to stay together. So my uncle one time said, "Don't go to bed angry." That was like his advice to us the night
I
before
always
our
thought
wedding.
about that. No,
Yeah.
they said that to us, Carmen
Yeah.
and Victor.
Yeah.
They said that to us, and then every time that
Every time we went to
did,
bed,
I was
I
like,
always thought of
I
them.
thought of them
to
too.
today. Like
Yes,
if we
I'm
get
like,
into
what
a
if I
fight,
die in my sleep tonight? And I was mad at him when I went to bed.
yeah. So I always
That's
think
why
about
I
that.
try to fizzle out quick. We fight, and then I'm like, okay,
and then
can
we
we
bang
make
it
up?
out.
Can we
And
just
then we
make
bang
up
it
now?
out. We
Like,
bang it out,
we're
yeah.
like, no one's going
you
anywhere.
bang it out.
Yeah, like-
We bang
like-
it out. Yeah.
Like she'll be like, "Oh, I know you're angry, but here, she'll rub my dick." And
It's
then,
true.
Right,
It's
right,
like,
right.
why stay mad? Like, why stay mad? I try to tell our older son.
Okay.
He's probably gonna hate me for this, but whatever. She listens. His girlfriend listens. But they were arguing about some shit, and I was like, just get over it. Like, it's fine. Like, you're gonna get over it, or you're like, or break up. I don't know.
and
like,
we said
you know
that
what I mean?
to them. They
You're
were both
wasting
there.
time by being
Yeah.
angry at each other. Like,
we're
talk
like,
about
get
it.
over it or break up.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
But
And this is after
yeah.
years of fighting, of course.
Yeah.
And so we know how to fight well.
Yeah.
But it's true. It's like you're gonna be mad, whatever. You're gonna be mad for a little bit. You're gonna be irritated, but like move the fuck on. Like
Yeah.
you have to get through your day. You have to get through your night. What's the
Right.
point of being angry? Like what's that gonna do for you? Nothing.
yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah.
gain anything.
Yeah, I've been finding, I think now that for my next partner, whoever she is, that if I ever get angry, I know that because when you fight and when you argue, there are things that are said that you can't take back.
Right.
But now I'm realizing I have a go-to phrase where I'll go, I'm very angry right now, and what I say to you won't be coming out of love and compassion. So give me like just a little time and space, and then I'll get over it, and then we'll come back and chat.
It's very mature.
Yeah.
I feel like by the time you got that out, the fight's over.
Right.
Like that's a diffuser.
Yeah.
Because the person
That's
will
what
be.
he's saying.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
diffuser.
The person will be like, I'm sorry, what? I was sick forever. What did you just say to me? Like, can you just go back to being a dick, you fucking asshole? So,
But you can't take that back, though.
Yeah, but there's no reason to say that to someone unless like you fuck someone else. Like
Right.
that's what I was telling them too. I said unless one of you cheated on each other, like what are you fighting about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing is that serious.
yeah, but they're like young, and to them everything is the biggest
of course,
thing ever.
and I know that we
And it's like,
we give advice from a
Jesus.
place of experience, and that we've had like every argument that could be had.
Every argument,
Every fucking
we've had
argument.
if you can come up with an idea of an argument that could have been had, we've had that argument.
Legit, I'm like,
You guys could write a book.
He left his socks on the floor. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to leave him there for 5 days or as long as he leaves them there.
Mm-hmm.
The socks don't need to be picked up right now. And I don't give a shit that he left them there. I just don't care.
The price
and
of admission.
And exactly. And if I feel compelled to pick them up, it's because I have OCD and I want them off the floor. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not his fault. Like, it's not a big deal, you know?
So
I
what
don't
are
know.
you doing now? Because when you
I
were,
leave my socks on
Good
the floor.
segue.
No, I
No,
don't.
hold on. like your
no, because
segue.
because when we first started the podcast, you were single.
Yes.
And then like at the end of the podcast, you had met your girl.
Yes.
So back then there was no Tinder.
Yes, there was.
No,
You were on it.
No. Back no. We're talking 8 years ago, 5 years ago.
Like 6 years ago.
Yeah, there was no Tinder.
Oh, it's been that
Like
long. Okay.
Tinder
Yeah.
was what, 2014?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Tinder
about
didn't.
that
Yeah,
time.
so Tinder didn't
Yeah.
exist then, and it was hard for you to meet women because you worked late nights.
Yeah, it worked all the time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
when you were
What about
home,
the hospital? You can meet another nurse.
Right, but that's the thing. Like
he's a
I am.
he's
That
a
is-
proponent of don't shit where you eat.
Oh,
Yeah,
the good
yeah,
idea.
yeah,
Good
don't shit
idea.
where you sleep.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
idea.
So now,
Although it has kind
happened,
of become
yeah.
like
I'm
that.
sure people are fucking all over the hospital. That's got to be happening.
Like stuff on Grey's Anatomy.
like in like
Yeah.
Grey's Anatomy.
You know
For
what?
sure.
I,
In those
I
little
like
rooms
hope
where you
to
guys
walk in on somebody one day.
That has to be
You know,
happening.
it has to happen.
I hope
but
that that's
haven't.
happening.
I haven't come across that sitch.
I would make that happen if I was in the hospital. Like, come into this closet.
yeah.
you would just go to the hospital and make it happen
That's
whether you
true.
work there or not.
yeah.
I'd be an invader in the hospital, just like trying to fuck doctors.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought you said I'd be Vader. Like, so I was thinking Darth Vader. Like you'd be Darth Vader. coming up with your costume.
So that'd be sexy as fuck. I would be all
My
over that.
sister says the paramedics are very sexy.
Oh,
She's
of course.
Like, oh my god,
Especially in New York. They're just like they're
no,
like,
in
hey, yo.
California. She
No.
hasn't met any in New York yet.
She will.
She will, I'm
But,
sure.
but my point to this whole thing is now you're single in
Yeah.
a world where
Oh,
where
apps,
it's
yeah,
just
where there's
swipe
apps.
are you
tastic.
on apps?
No, I'm not. I'm
So-
not ready. I don't think I'm ready for that type of situation just yet.
Oh,
Okay.
look at this.
Yeah.
I respect that.
This is this
He's a
guy
he's a
episode.
respectable man.
This guy episode's going deep.
Yeah,
Take
I
that,
can't.
ladies. All of you. So okay. So here's the thing. So
Right.
the consensus, and this is what led Janelle to recording mediocre sex with guys, is that the consensus is that guys just want to fuck. They're not looking for a relationship. They'll ghost you in the first second. They want all these things. Very like they're all about looks.
I
Break
think
it down
to
for
some
us.
level. It's like that. I have a friend. He's in his mid-20s, and it was certainly like that for him until he met his girlfriend right now, right just recently. But yeah, I think like with age and with everything, because I know exactly what I want, and I'm not trying to mess around.
You have
and plus
standards?
and plus
Standards?
there's like there are a ton of things that I've learned in my last relationship where I know I need to work on and I know I need to become better at.
Yeah.
And this whole self-improvement, like what you said earlier about having the ability to love yourself and love yourself enough to where now you know you can give somebody else that kind of love. I don't think I'm there yet. Yeah.
But I don't think anybody's. I don't think I'm there, but I work on it. Do you know what I mean? I'm working on it. So
yeah.
so
I
don't,
think it's a work in.
if-
It'll
but if
always
you-
be a work
yeah.
in progress. I think.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't
most
wait till
definitely.
that
We're
happens.
not robots. We're
Yeah.
human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's hard to love yourself enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like countless times, Janelle will be like, "Oh, I love you," and I'm like, "Really?" like, like love.
Yeah.
though?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like
That's different than if you're a single man or a woman loving yourself enough to know that you deserve like some sort of respect.
Yeah.
That's different. Like we've been married. Like we're like fucking related at this point. Like come on.
Yeah.
It's like, how have we been married for so long? Because he's my family. Like,
Right.
you know, even we broke up.
It's,
The audience,
it's fucking Italian.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
my
yeah,
family.
like a
yeah.
family here. No,
Okay.
I'm saying like we've grown up together. We've been around each other for 22 years. That's
Right.
longer. Like we've known each other longer
Then we were alive.
Then we've known each other longer than we haven't known each other.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So like we grew up together. We're always gonna be together. And even when we were broken up, like I would bring him lunch and he's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why are you bringing me food?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just
Yeah.
miss you." You know, like
Yeah.
so we had our struggles, our personalities differ a lot, and we clash a lot.
I feel like you
At
took a lot. I feel
times.
like you emphasized that. You're like, we differ a lot.
We do differ a lot, but at the end of the day, it was like, I can't live without this person.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't know if it's just because we're just used to each other. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, it could be definitely some Stockholm syndrome.
But who's who?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who's
I'm
the
not-
captor?
I'm not sure.
Well, my
I
ego says
don't
it's
know.
me.
It's definitely
My
him.
ego says it's me.
It's definitely him.
No,
My
It's
ego,
definitely
yeah,
him.
because the thing is because it has to. No, I have it. It has to be me because
Why-
I
why is
bring
it-
nothing to the table. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
outta here.
aside from like
I think you bring stuff. To the
aside from
table.
like being like really good at like video games, I don't really have
That's
much.
not
to-
true.
No, that's not. Yeah, that's not true.
Let's
you guys are-
let's just prop Ron up right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
That was
Yeah, yeah.
It,
Get
that's-
outta here.
I set it
Yeah.
up to do that. Thank you
fuck?
guys.
Get the fuck outta here.
It is.
needed
It
a
is not.
boost.
It is not true. You
That's
were.
not
You were a good
true.
person.
You are a
Oh,
good
Yeah,
person.
good.
and I wouldn't have stayed friends with you for this long.
Here we go.
Eyes
Right.
rolling.
Yeah. Here come the feels.
Yeah, come on.
Sorry, but back to your question. I don't think I'm ready. There are certainly women I've talked to, but I put it out there immediately, and I don't know what it is about putting this out there immediately, but immediately friend zoning somebody just makes them. I don't know why, and I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to rush or do anything, but they keep wanting to come at me and say, hey, what's up? What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm at work. Just, I'm chilling, or I'm just hanging out by myself.
That's so funny that he
Yeah.
mentions that because we were talking about how I'm
He has
like
the opposite though.
no because
Right.
he's
Okay.
friend zoning somebody.
No,
and
but people friend zone you.
because
So
I
that's
no, but that's because that's what I do.
Yeah.
like I'm like, oh
No.
hey, how like
No,
how's the
no.
weather? Oh, here's a cool like thing you should read.
No,
and like
it's the opposite, honey. It's
Right.
the opposit. He's
I feel-
saying
same.
he's pushing them away, and they keep coming.
Yeah.
You're wanting them to come, but they're pushing you away. So it's like
so
it's
the
like
reverse friend zoning.
the
you?
reverse friend
Wait.
zoning. Yes,
I know.
exactly.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
it sounds
Yeah.
like you're friend zoning them, and they're like, "Why don't you want me? Like,
Right.
why don't you want to fuck me? Why don't you
Right.
want this shit or whatever?" Which makes sense for a female. A female brain is like, "Why aren't you accepting me? Like, I'm putting myself out there for you. Why don't you
Right.
want it? Because most guys do."
would
Yeah,
would
of
you
course.
have random sex with someone at this stage in your life?
I think if it happened, it would have happened.
Yeah,
He's not on
Yeah,
apps. How
I'm
does it
not-
even happen nowadays when you're not
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
an
like
app,
what, like
though?
what, how, like okay. So if you would have random sex, how are you putting yourself in that situation to
That's a
have
good
it?
question. I mean,
You
because
need
I don't
love.
I
Come on,
don't
you need
drink.
some-
I don't drink.
You need some
Yeah.
affection.
Yeah.
Right? Come
Yeah.
on, everybody needs that.
And in case people are wondering, he's like a young LL Cool J.
Yes, he is actually.
Yeah.
He is like a LL Cool
Yeah.
J.
And and Mama said knock you
He's
out.
not
Yeah.
black though.
Yeah.
No, but that he looks. He's
I'm ethnically ambiguous.
He's ethnically ambiguous. he
Yeah.
could.
I just don't want to get a mixed
he-
message
no,
sent out
he
there.
could be black if the night went the right way.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
so if you would do it, how are you doing it? Like, okay, what's the last thing you did to put yourself in a situation to have random sex
I was at a party, right?
with
But-
your friends?
Yeah, with friends.
So you're
And
banging
coworkers,
So
this was-
banging friends and coworkers again.
Right.
But that's
But
a
That's
line.
the
a-
easiest
but
place to
that's a-
find it.
yeah,
That's the easiest
yeah.
place to find it.
So have you
Yeah.
gotten close?
I've gotten close.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? It's just these anxieties take over, and I'm going, no, this would create weirdness at work or in our friendship. Maybe I'm just a different dude.
No,
Just
you're
a different type of
You're
dude.
just like Ron.
Right.
No,
Ron is the same
I'm
way.
I'm the
Right.
same way, and we need to have more people like us coming forward.
Just yeah.
Did you
like,
listen
yeah,
to
it's
the
a movement.
Did you listen to the episode where you lost your virginity?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you listen to that one?
listened to
Where
it.
he was anxious about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah. That was still episode 2.
Yeah. Like, I was like thinking, like, how the fuck have you been this anxious your whole entire life? Like, he's been this anxious and he's still like that. He's
Right.
very anxious all the time. Where
Especially when it comes to sex.
Yeah, and I'm more like, whoa, let's just go. Yes, you know?
Yeah, but
And
you have post-sex anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
So
I think I get that too.
Yeah.
you're like, oh my God, it's, they left at 4 a.m. and it's 9 a.m. and they haven't texted. It was fun. Like,
Oh yeah.
was it not
Yeah.
good?
Yeah.
I've learned to get over that.
No, but I'm
and
just
then I
saying.
still have that. I think I still have that.
You
Yeah.
got to get over that. Just fuck
Yeah.
it. Who cares?
I think
If they want to see you again, they're gonna fucking text you. And
That's
if they
true.
don't, fuck it.
That's true.
Who fucking
That is
cares?
true.
Just
Yeah.
fucking don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
I think
And-
that's what's different about dating nowadays. Yeah.
Well, what's
Really.
different about our situation is that we're not dating anybody.
Right.
We just like to have sex with other people.
Okay.
So it's like you have to be in this mindset where you're like, I really don't care if they text me back
Right.
or again or ever because I have a husband.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
it kind of changes the
dynamic a
the
little bit.
dynamic a little
But
bit. Yeah.
I'm getting over that because there was a situation.
Where you get like a regular.
Yeah, a regular.
You know what I mean? You get like
They
a
catch
regular.
feels. They catch some feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, and then the thing is, it's like hard not to.
Right.
You're
as a human. Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like I feel like
and
that's
then
natural.
and then it's interesting because then it opens up the question of like poly dynamics, and we're like, yeah, we're totally into that poly dynamic, but a lot of times the other person isn't into those poly dynamics. and then
Well, the poly dynamic has to be with all parties.
With all parties.
And then most of the time, like
it's only like
It's
us.
the one person.
it's
yeah.
us
And
and,
then
then
that one
the
person.
and then the male and then the wife doesn't know about it.
Yeah. So it's like always like weird stuff. So
Even though they're open to it,
Yeah.
but they're really not.
Right.
You know?
so it's just all
drama.
kinds of
and
it's
there's
all kinds of-
secrecy and drama involved, and I'm
Yeah.
not into that. You
I'm
know?
not
Yeah.
into that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, come on.
Yeah.
It's
Come on.
like yeah.
Come on, get out of here.
It's
Come
it's
on.
like it because
Forget about it.
Yeah,
so
forget about it.
so she's to tell you a little bit more backstory. She's talking about the guy who we hooked up with, who played with for a very famous football team, the Raiders.
Okay.
So, and his wife was down until not down,
Oh.
and then it's like, all right, well, you know what, your husband's a famous basketball or football player, so
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
You'd be all right.
Yeah.
But that's just so wrong to think about it that way, though. I don't know. I think for me, though, it's just I would prefer to be in a relationship before
Yeah.
I have another sexual encounter, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, and
Yeah, yeah.
that's a thing that people don't identify males as.
Right.
They don't
They
think
just wanna
of guys
bang.
as relationship driven individuals.
Yeah.
They think of them as just like fuck boys.
Right. Right.
Right. And you're the opposite fuck boy, and it
Yeah.
makes it difficult
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, it does. Because then
I wish I
there's
had
this-
music to play right
There's
now.
no.
Dun, dun, you're gonna be okay.
He had like a totally different.
I did.
song
I
going
had
on.
I had
Yeah.
a different song.
No, I was
Like,
thinking-
yours
I
was
was
more
thinking-
like melodramatic.
Yeah.
Mine was like game showy.
Yeah. Ba-ba-ba-bum-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum.
Or like sports showy.
Yeah.
You know? Ba-ba-bum-bum-bum.
So last night just fell short of a touchdown, Anthony.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a reverse highlight reel. It's like a low light reel. That's kind of been, but I don't know. It's just like if I were to get in that situation with somebody, too, I don't think I could follow through with it because like there's always a chance that someone's gonna get hurt.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
a very difficult.
It's a difficult line.
It's a difficult situation.
You mean like one night stands?
Yeah. I mean, in my 20s, yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Those things happened. Like before I met my girlfriend, that happened.
Yeah, but there's
Yeah.
women out there that are okay
Or my
with one night
ex-girlfriend.
stands, and
Yeah.
they just
But-
want to.
but in your
they
mind-
just want to have sex, and
See, tell me if I'm wrong because I've mentioned this before,
Right.
and I say that like in my head, I don't want to be the person that's responsible for someone feeling shitty about themselves because I'm not looking for anything other than sex.
Yeah.
And then I feel bad that we had sex, and then I'm like, yeah, I don't want to talk to you anymore. But that was that was like
That you had put those.
Yeah.
Well, not expectation, but you'd put that. You
I
were
said
forthright.
it. I said it
Yeah.
up front. You
Those
know what I mean?
you were-
parameters.
You were forthright with it.
Yeah. And then so then I don't want to look like the asshole.
Right.
And then in the end, I'm just the asshole who's stuck in a friend zone and I can't pull the trigger on anything.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like you're kind of in that same boat. You don't want to be.
I am in that same boat.
You have compassion.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be thought of as like a jerk.
Yeah.
Who,
I think if you were talking to me like 8 years ago, for instance, right? Like when I first started my career, like that's what I was looking for. That's all I was looking for.
Ass.
And then
Ass,
yeah. And then I just encountered like all these women that were just at that like one way or another. It would just like I would catch feels, and then but they weren't into it, or the vice versa would happen. And then when I met my ex-girlfriend, it was like, oh yeah, I think this is it. Like I don't have any need to look anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad, but
Yeah.
you know, it's okay because at least you didn't get hooked up with the wrong person.
No. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you probably learned something from the relationship, and
grew.
You grew, and you're gonna be a better person for the next woman
For-
that enters
yeah.
your life. You
Whoever
know?
my next partner is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're gonna find somebody.
Yeah.
But I'm confused about the fact
But
that
my
you,
stamina game is on point though.
That's
No,
what I'm saying. What I'm saying. That's fine. I hope you're jerking off regularly to keep that going. But like you should be able to go out, and it may not even be fun for you, but you should be able to go out and just fuck somebody because they may just want to be fucked. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's not a bad thing. It's not disrespectful. And you may be a very respectful man and think that that's disrespectful to a woman to just like fuck her and never talk to her again.
Yeah.
But some women want that.
Right.
You know, and I think that's a very confusing thing for women and for men because we're in my husband and I are in a different situation, but my sister is single and she'll go have like a random person and she feels guilty about it the next day. And I'm like, why do you feel guilty? Like you had fun. And she's like, yeah, okay. You had fun. You had sex with this person. He had a big dick. Whatever he was nice. He smelled nice. Whatever the thing is that you liked about him.
That's your criteria.
Whatever. Those are the things, right?
Big dicks smell nice.
Yeah. Those are the things. I mean, attractive. There's got to be attractive too.
Yeah.
But it's okay to just admit that you just wanted to just go fuck somebody that night. You needed someone like attention. You wanted someone like a warm body next to you. And that's okay. Like that's fine. You shouldn't feel guilty about that.
No.
Yeah.
I think that's I think that's key. I think just because it's still kind of, for me, it's still kind of fresh where I'm still trying to navigate through all the stuff that because then if
you're hurt.
You know,
I am.
Yeah.
I am. I'm like a baby deer.
Yeah.
You're gonna need some help.
He's very like,
Yeah.
he's very like fragile right
Fragile,
now.
yeah. And you're gonna need some help in going forward because in this new day and age, you're gonna probably have to send a picture of your dick
No.
to somebody.
Not unless someone asks for
No, but
it.
they may ask for it.
They
and then
might
when
ask
you
for it.
and
They
then when
might.
you do it,
They
so
might.
I have some advice.
Okay. About this is dick pic etiquette?
Yeah, dick pic. Yeah. So basically, the first thing.
I feel like there should be like there's gonna be like a
Like a segment?
Yeah,
like a
segment, like-
opener?
dick
pic etiquette.
yeah, like that's what we need.
Ding. The first thing that you need to do, and trust me, this is going to be the
There's just eggplants.
yeah,
I just need like eggplants.
yeah, like a whole bunch of little
Yeah.
eggplant,
Little
back there.
ones, big ones, fat ones, skinny
Yeah.
ones, all of them.
and then one that
Yeah.
you're like, what is that? And then
Yeah.
you just forget about it.
Like those are the lyrics to I've got a bunch of coconuts. Right? Like I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Yeah. But you would say eggplants instead of
Yeah.
coconuts.
So the first rule, the first advice, because it took me a while to get comfortable with sending my dick to somebody. Like
Okay.
that was like what?
Yeah.
I was like 40 something.
Okay.
And I'm like
You're 41.
I'm
42. You're
42.
42.
And so
Get outta
so
here.
40 I haven't sent a dick pic till I was 41. You were
I
there
guess.
for the first dick pic. Anyways, my point
I
is you have to
guess.
take like 6 or 7 dick pics randomly here and
Okay.
there.
All right.
Lighting is
It's
key.
key. Yeah, of course.
And then if you get a little spray bottle, you
Get
know,
a spray tan?
like
Oh,
water.
okay. Like should I like a
Spray
spray
tan
tan?
your
no,
dick.
no, no,
Just
no.
your dick. Just
Yeah,
spray
yeah,
tan
yeah,
the
just
dick
like this
only.
area.
No. So you
From the
spray
waist
water,
down.
like make it look moist.
I need a spray tan from the waist down.
Because my best dick pic that I have is
Okay.
one that Janelle was just like sucked my dick and she was holding it
Oh
and it
my
looked
God.
very
Yeah.
moist.
Right.
So that's like huge, you know. And
No,
then
but
like,
the
did it look
angle-
huge?
The
it
angle
did
is
look huge.
important.
The
You
angle,
need-
yeah, you want to
so
go like
you
down
need the
up.
angle of the dangle.
Yeah, down up.
You need down up, and
Down
also you need to push like your
Yes.
your like pad back.
This is like the Kanamai code of dick pics.
Yeah.
You
Like
push
up, down.
You push your little pad back first,
Right.
and then you push your hand all the way to the bottom,
Uh-huh.
and then it extends out all the way.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then
from
you-
the bottom up,
bottom
and
up, you
it'll-
take a nice with flash,
It'll look
Right,
great.
right.
and then it looks glistening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and then so you take a couple of those, find one that you really
Oh,
like.
trim up first.
Oh, yeah, you gotta trim up.
that shit
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Mhm. Manscaping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a lot into it. And then if you
don't-
get into that situation where she's like, you know, blah blah blah, you're flirting, and she sends you a
Blah, blah,
picture of
blah.
her, of her pussy, then you go, okay,
Yeah.
now I can send you a picture of my dick, because you let them send a pic first, and not a tit pic.
Okay.
It's not the same.
All right.
They send you a picture of their tits. That's like, okay, cool.
Like I'll send them a picture of mine. Too.
Yeah, you should. Right. but when they send, but if you say, let me see your pussy, and they send
Yeah,
it to you, then
yeah.
you, out of respect,
Yeah.
send
Yeah,
a
you
dick
have to-
pic.
Out
Yeah,
of
yeah,
respect.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
come on.
Not of their cat.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Let me see that pussy, and it's you
Yeah.
know.
I actually did have this one joke where
It's
I
a
would send
picture of their cat Miramar, who's 8 years old. Who's
Yeah.
a Maine Coon.
one time I sent a picture of a truck that was in 2 parking spots to this girl, and she's like, "What's this?" I was like, "Oh, it's a dick pic," because
Yeah.
only a dick would take up 2 parking spots with his truck.
Nice. I give you a high
Thanks,
five.
thanks. I got a high five for that
There's
one.
a high five for that one.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not laughing.
No,
Yeah.
of course
That
not.
was
You don't
very
find me
funny.
very funny.
No.
No. But the thing is do you think about that? Like, you're gonna have to probably now, like
Send a dick picture.
send a dick pic. Yeah.
That's a good question.
Let me ask you a question. You say pod, but
Yeah.
you'll say picture. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Everything.
You don't say dick pic. You
Pick
say
a
dick
lane,
picture.
motherfucker.
Dick-
Pick a lane.
I'm gonna call it dick photograph. Yeah.
A dick photo.
Yeah. Have a portfolio of it.
Actually, I'm a professional dick photog. I just go around taking pictures of men's dicks for their phone.
And it'd be funny if like a guy named Richard just hit you up. It's like, oh, I hear you take pictures of dicks. Can you schedule me in for a photo shoot? And you're like, oh, you must mean I take pictures of Richards. No, I take pictures of penises.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
The other day I got a picture. Well, there's this guy that was talking to me, and he was like, he was just talking shit. I can't even say what he was saying, but he was just talking shit. He wanted to meet up in San Francisco, whatever. And I was like entertaining the idea for like a moment. The first picture, so I was like, can you send me some pictures? Like,
Right.
I didn't say dick pic
Right.
or dick pictures. I said, can you send me
Dick
some
photographs.
send me some pictures. He
Yeah.
sends me a picture of his dick,
Okay.
which I don't even believe was his dick at this point. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, I appreciate that, I guess. But like, can I see your face and can I see your eyes? And then he never sent me a picture. And then he said his phone broke. And then like last night he's texting me like, oh, we're meeting up. And I was like, you never sent me pictures of your face. And he was, no, or you never sent me pictures. He sends me the same dick pic he sent me 2 weeks ago. I was like,
Damn.
yep, already saw that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
You're
he
outta
said,
here.
no, like you're done. I was
Yeah,
like, please
yeah,
stop texting me.
yeah.
Like, I'm done. Like, go find yourself some other person to fucking text.
You're
like, you're
outta here.
that's a weirdo. Like, you're a weirdo. So just don't be a weirdo. you
Yeah,
know?
don't. But you definitely need to prep now, because the last thing you want is to be like
you need to have a
unprepared.
photo shoot with your, dick.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what I mean?
This
Have 'em
is this is
stored.
good material.
Yeah, this is a good advice. You need
Yeah.
to like
Yeah.
have like some filters, like
Right.
something like little stars. I don't know.
Yeah,
Something
but
you can-
don't send it unsolicited. I
No,
don't
no,
think
no.
you
Oh, yeah,
would.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah,
you're not the
don't-
type of guy anyway.
No.
No, but be
No.
prepared, because
Oh, of
that's
course.
that's what's happening
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Because if
Which is crazy because back in the day, like 20 years ago,
we wouldn't have this issue.
you roll the dice. You're like, either
Yeah.
he has a nice dick or doesn't.
Right. But now it's a thing, I guess.
Some girls want to see what they're
Yeah.
working with
Yeah.
before they go in for
Yeah.
the.
Yeah, it's like
the moment.
when you're shopping for a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to like check out the
Test
Carfax.
drive it. You
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
test drive?
yeah. You know, it's like a true car for dicks. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah.
True car for dicks. Has it had any accidents?
Yeah.
How many miles does it have on it?
Yeah.
Now what is the
What's
answer
the
to that?
engine
Like what
size?
do you have a limit of the amount of miles? Like you don't want a car with no miles on it. Like
Right.
nobody wants
No,
that.
I got no limit to mileage. I don't care.
Like,
about
so
that.
you have a
As
car
long as
that
it
you-
runs well.
you
I'm
you have
okay.
you have a dick with like 180,000 miles.
What does that equate to? How many women?
Oh wow! So now we're gonna put mile to women.
Yeah, that's
One-
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know, 1 mile, one woman.
That's
180,000.
women. Come on.
That's a lot of women.
Yeah.
What does that
Yeah.
person do?
Well, I think
It's a porn star.
like equivalent to how many strokes is 1 mile, right? So
Yeah.
maybe I don't know.
What does it
Yeah,
take
maybe
you,
like 10 strokes per mile. You know?
You're like 5 strokes. 5 strokes per masturbate session.
Yeah.
5 strokes. That I wish. That'd be so much easier.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5.
Yeah, my arm would hurt less.
Yeah.
Like 32. Like
Yeah.
32 strokes.
Yeah.
32 strokes.
Is it or is it
I
coming?
like that we're defining this.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, we should find it out. Like how many
Yeah,
miles?
it should be like, because then for some dudes, I mean, like I know my first sexual experience, it was like 10 strokes in, I was ready to go. I was like, oh, like I gotta stop. Hang on, really sensitive. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he was the same way.
yeah. I'm really sensitive.
I can't imagine any guy that wasn't that way.
Yeah.
Wait, did you even see
'Cause
you
then it
came
was-
that moment?
The first time I had sex?
Yeah.
No, because I was about to, and I was like, oh no, wait, I don't have.
You didn't
like-
have a condom.
Yeah, I was like, oh no,
Even
I'm not.
though pre-cum could have gotten her.
I know
Right.
that's what I was already like. Oh my god! And then what's interesting is I like this is how fucking neurotic I am. Please pardon me, but like I was like hanging out, and then I remember her being like, "Oh, I got my period." I was like, "Oh, okay,
Oh my god.
You're pointing up. Yes,
Yep.
Yes.
you got me.
Yes.
Yeah.
good."
Yeah.
I've learned my lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was always like a little weirdo when it came to like anxiety.
little-
Yeah, I lost my virginity kind of late. I was 17 when I lost my virginity.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So
What was
I
that?
was like on the cusp
not
of
that
being
late.
18.
No, it's not that late.
Yeah. But I mean, like like in terms of some of the other guys, like my other friends
Yeah.
at the time, like they lose their virginities at 15, 16.
Yeah.
But the thing is that might
Yeah.
not be true.
That's true. Now that I
Like,
think about it.
Yeah, like that might not be
dudes
true.
lie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I know that like one time I was in Puerto Rico
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know, like 13 or 14
Okay.
before I had sex, and I remember being like, oh yeah, man, I've totally
You did
fucked
it.
American girls.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
American girls are easy.
Yeah.
I did it all the time.
Them chicas.
Like Los chicas.
Los chicas. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It
I mean,
was-
guys lie.
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, just kidding. I was 17 and a half.
He's like, okay, I'm sorry, 19.
Like I was like 17 and 3/4. No, I was like 17 when the first time it happened.
and what
and
was it
then-
like?
It was very scary because I was like, I don't know, like, is this the right home that I'm going through? You know what I mean? You're kind of just messing around, and then she was the girl I lost my virginity to. She I think had 2 other partners before
Yeah,
me.
so
We're
she
about the
was
same age.
experienced.
She was
She was
the quote unquote
experienced.
experienced,
Right.
right? But then, like, she was like looking, it's like, oh, I think you're there. And then I was like, what do you mean you think I'm there? Like, you're supposed to be experienced. I don't know. We got it figured out eventually, but like a minute later, I was like, oh man, like this is a lot. This is too much.
It's
I
so
just
warm.
need a
so
break.
wet.
I need. What do you call it now? Like when a video like buffering. I need a buffer. Need some buffer time.
You're like, damn this
It's like,
broadband.
Yeah. It's like it's coming in. You know, like
need
I'm coming in
dial-up.
at 144p. Like I really needed to get up to 720p, 1080p.
my
Come on. Yeah. And then it was over before I even knew it. And I was
Well,
like, this is amazing.
Did you have sex with that person again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And then it
She was my high school girlfriend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. We should
So-
totally get her on the show and be like, how was he?
Terrible.
Dude, we were shitty at sex when we got together.
Right.
Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Janelle, compared to now,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
come on. I'm
Yeah.
talking about like the way we bring it today versus the way we brought it when we first met.
I'm just saying I wasn't terrible at it.
Compared to now, it's awful.
Hmm.
Like the kind of shit that we have now, just the two of us, where even like just the other day, we're like, how does this keep happening?
Yeah.
Like, how do we keep bringing it up a notch? And we actually had sex the other day, and it wasn't even, there was no choking involved, no tying up, no
Okay.
nothing. It was just normal, regular. Not, I shouldn't say normal. That's the worst thing. It was just what you would consider to be just plain
it was part
vanilla.
of your, it was part of your repertoire.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was amazing. We
Yeah.
had it was so good.
Yeah.
Sometimes keeping it simple is pretty good.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like,
with my
I like
ex-girlfriend.
missionary.
Yeah.
I like missionary.
Yeah, with my ex-girlfriend, it was like we would do a lot of missionary, and
Yeah.
then, we had a kind of a routine, but we would change it up every once in a while, and You know, when the kids weren't home, just all over the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta switch it up a little
Yeah.
bit, but there's only so many things.
But
you
what
can
what
do.
what's considered to be non-vanilla? I mean, so everybody knows like
Anal.
is it anal? Because you got to think like missionary,
Never got
doggy
that far.
style,
Yeah.
like that stuff's
You've never
vanilla.
gotten to anal.
We never went anal.
Would
Now,
you do
yeah.
it?
yeah, is it
I
a
don't know.
you specific?
Some
think
guys
it's a
are
me- I
some
think
guys
it's a
are
me
grossed out by
specific.
it. Some guys are grossed out by it.
I think we talked about it, but she was like, "Nah, poop comes out of there."
Oh,
That's true. I mean, that's a fact.
Yeah.
no one can argue with that.
Yeah.
So
that is a scientific fact.
That is a
Ms.
scientific
Madame.
No, but you're not grossed out by it. You just haven't had someone that's
No, that was
welcoming.
down. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I've always
Yeah.
been thinking about that. Like, which sexual positions are considered to be vanilla?
missionary.
Doggy
Right,
style,
but then
right?
like if it's really good in missionary, then you just kind of just go with the flow.
How about
Yeah.
like cowgirl?
Right.
You know, where she's on top, right?
That's not vanilla.
Yeah.
That's
There you
vanilla.
go. And then
No, it's
reverse
not.
cowgirl.
Yeah.
And
And
Wait,
then
what's cowgirl then?
it's just
Yeah.
when you're sitting on top.
Oh god.
yeah, yeah.
There's a
Then there's
name for
reverse,
that.
reverse
And then reverse
cowgirl.
cowgirl is when you're facing
Well, I
away.
know the
Yeah.
reverse, but I
Yeah.
didn't know
Well, the
that
other- so that would-
riding a dick was called cowgirl.
Well,
like
if
you're just
reverse
riding a dick.
cowgirl, it's what's the reverse of reverse? It'd just
I
be
guess
cowgirl.
that's
Cowgirl,
true.
yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
that's
and then
true.
doggy style,
There's
right?
doggy style. Yeah, I would do this thing where I would carry her and then go up against the wall.
Nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's very
Nice.
nice.
Yeah.
You have to have a big enough dick to do that.
Right.
So we
So,
know.
I got lucky.
We know his pocket.
Yeah.
You got to be long enough to like get
Be
in
able to-
there and do
and
the
then
whole
the holding thing,
situation.
yeah,
you got to
yeah.
be able to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm average.
So, ladies, Anthony is he's on the prowl. He's not on any apps, but
Yeah.
you know,
And
Yeah.
and he checks all the boxes,
Right.
super sweet.
right? Is there
Yeah.
any box like I don't find you to be quite that attractive personally.
Let's go.
You just said he's like LL Cool J.
No.
like
Right.
what?
Wait, that's not his type. That's
Yeah.
not his thing.
I'm not. I don't
Yeah.
find LL Cool J to be attractive.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me
No,
right
what
now?
he's saying. What he's saying is that I'm an attractive dude. He's just that's not. I'm not the
It's not
type.
his
I'm
thing.
not
No.
the type.
Well, he's
No,
not into
Then that's
men.
fine.
That's not. Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
it's
whoa.
not a knock. I don't feel like it was a knock.
Well, I find like Brad Pitt to be sexy.
Yeah.
I think George Clooney has a level
Would
of
you
sexiness.
fuck Brad Pitt?
I don't know. I probably would.
I don't think you would.
I can say anything I want because I'm never going to be in that situation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
If there was a dude, like,
There's
if
been
you,
dudes.
Yeah.
If there was a dude that just said, Ron, I think you and I can make some magic.
I don't know.
Won't do it.
I haven't.
No,
I haven't
he's
met
been
him
in
yet.
that situation,
Oh,
but
shit.
he hasn't.
Yeah.
He's not a biter.
Yeah, I've touched a dick. I've
Okay.
elevated my sex game.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I mean, I've touched a dick.
You've touched a dick.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Not
so
for like you weren't jerking off the dick. Though.
I was not jerking the dick.
Did,
off.
did you just graze it? Was it like
No. I
like-
grabbed it and put it back.
Oh yeah,
in
yeah,
Janelle.
yeah. You repositioned.
I repositioned.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All
It
right.
was technical. It was
Yeah.
a technical move.
yeah. It was very, very technical,
It was
very
a technical
strategic.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had a purpose.
yeah, it
It
was-
wasn't
So
just.
I'm saying
It
I
wasn't
don't-
just.
I was a good team player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Teamwork
you-
makes the dream work.
Yeah,
I know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But I don't think you would fuck Brad Pitt.
I don't know. We don't know.
Well, you'll never be in that. What if you were in that situation?
Well, if we were, then
if,
I'm
like-
going to say yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know right now, even though it will never happen, I would not fuck Donald Trump. So you can't say without a doubt who you would or would
That's
not fuck.
yeah.
Like you could just make it up. It's in your head. You imagine it. Brad Pitt is here. His dick is out. He probably has like red pubes.
Okay, to be honest, I probably here's the thing.
Is he a ginger? Is he
He's
naturally
he's
a ginger?
blonde, so he's
But-
got to have like
Is he
reddish,
naturally a
blondish
ginger?
So
pubes.
Yeah.
so if we're being honest, because of the fact that it is Brad Pitt,
Right.
I would have to do it.
Would
Yeah.
you fuck him or let him fuck you? Suck his dick. Sucks your dick.
I think
like,
I
what
think
would
I,
happen?
I think I would let whatever happen. It's
Yeah,
Brad
yeah.
Pitt.
Oh,
Yeah.
just be like open to it.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Brad
I like
Pitt.
that. Okay,
like,
that's
why
fair.
would I say no to that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think if the situation did present itself, I mean, that's how I would view if I were to have a one night stand too. Like if the situation presented itself and we were just on this clear understanding, I think I think it would happen like that. Where
Right.
we're just
Do
it's just-
whatever.
yeah.
Go with the moment.
yeah. If there was like a nice young lady who was just like, yeah, let's like what you were saying, like, oh, I just want to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just need some D.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not talking about the vitamin.
Like I was out in the sun all day today. I'm not talking about that.
I was drinking some milk earlier.
I was drinking milk in the sun. I'm good.
I'm good with the vitamin part. I was thinking about
I
something
need what
else.
you have packing in your pants. Could you imagine a woman saying that?
And I go, I have gum. I think I'm the
And
type of,
it's
I'm the
like
type of
Big
guy
Red.
that would make it really awkward at first.
Yeah.
Be like, okay. But I think if I got comfortable enough to be in the mood, I would take over. Because I
Yeah.
think I'm that type of person that just, I'd rather let's just go for it.
Yeah.
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 Do you consider yourself to be an aggressive lover? You just seem so like.
You seem so docile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you seem like you would be our pet.
Right. Right.
Like, come here, Anthony.
No, I take charge.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're like, take that.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
your sexy voice?
I don't have one. That's the thing.
You got to make
I
one
just-
up.
I just
If
go,
you
hey.
had to make one, what would it be?
It would
my
kind of
God.
be more hype. Justin Timberlake.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Let me set the mood right. Yeah.
Oh, that was the mistake I made.
You went there. Yeah.
Oh, you're like an R&B singer.
Yeah.
I try to be. Yeah.
Yeah, you did a lot of Usher,
Yeah.
Chris Brown.
Yeah.
You can't do Chris
no.
Brown.
You can't bring up Chris Brown or R. Kelly anymore.
No.
Like
I
that.
have to say, I'm sorry to all the ladies listening, but Chris Brown, I just can't not. I can't not listen to Chris Brown.
Okay.
Is it the
That's-
whole? Is
that's
it
fair.
the danger thing?
No, because
No,
R.
he
Kelly is.
he makes good music.
I
mean,
detest
just
R.
can't
Kelly.
listen.
Like I just can't.
Yeah.
But Chris Brown, oh, he's on a new song with Drake, like right now,
Right.
and I like the song.
Yeah.
So
Drizzy.
yeah,
Drizzy. Aubrey Drake Graham.
I just can't.
Are you speaking a language?
Drizzy Drake. Yeah.
Drake is the best.
So
Yeah.
can I do
But I
some?
do like some Usher. You know,
Yeah.
Usher's
like,
the best.
yeah. So like with my ex, I would sing to her some Usher.
Yeah.
Give us a
Yeah.
little sample.
It's 7:00 on the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising the streets.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, I got a real pretty little thing that's waiting for me.
I'm wet.
I pull up, anticipating good love, so don't keep me waiting. I got plans to put my hands on places I've never seen. Yeah, you know what I mean. Let me take you to a place that's nice and quiet. There ain't no one there to interrupt. Ain't gotta rush. I just wanna take it nice and slow. Very nice.
Thank you,
Got
thank
the
you.
whole
Thank
reverb
you.
effect
Oh,
out. Great. Yeah.
Sorry, we digress.
Yeah.
There's always like a singing segment.
Yeah.
So before we end, I have to ask a question. So
Yes.
this is this
Yes,
question
I
I'm about
do
to
shave
ask
my
you.
head every other day. Yeah.
So this question is 8 years in the making. I sent you a text like a month ago
Okay.
of how a whole nother
Right.
is an actual.
It is an actual word.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
So on our podcast, I would always be like, "Oh, just take that to a whole nother level." You're
And I
like,
go, that's not a
"It's-
word.
It's not a word. And then I was like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened. I was just like
Yeah.
on the
It
internet.
should be like a
interwebs.
whole,
Yeah.
a whole other
Yeah, it should be a
level.
whole other.
Yeah.
No,
I
but
guess
it's a whole nother.
Nother is a different.
Oh
I mean,
my
it's
God.
itself.
Is it
its own.
slang?
No.
No, it's not considered a slang. He
So-
provided me with proof. I fact check, and it was
Oh
like,
my god!
and I
This
was
was an
going-
Urban Dictionary. Fact
No,
I
check?
was like,
No.
you son of a bitch. Yeah.
And it was out of nowhere too. Like
Yeah.
I just texted bloop,
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
and I sent him the link, and then he's like searching for.
You mansplained to a man.
He was like searching
Yeah.
for like proof that it's fake, so he can send it back. He's like,
Yeah,
"You
yeah.
bastard!"
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
But I accepted it, and I know when to. I'm gracious in defeat.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So everybody heard it here on So What It's Just Sex.
Whole
Yeah.
nother level.
Yeah.
A whole nother level is officially okay to say.
Yeah.
I don't really know how that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is nother a word?
Another is
It's
a word.
it's a
Whole
it's
nother?
in Webster's dictionary.
Yeah. That's the link I
Googling it.
sent it.
I know that's what I said at
Did you
first too.
Google
I
it?
was like, I'm looking this shit up, and then it was true, and
Alright,
I was
let's
I was going, who edited this? Ron Pillow? No.
Yeah, exactly. He added it to the Wikipedia.
Yeah, he made a whole Wikipedia for it. I will say before we end, thank you guys so much for having me on. Can I can I come back
Yes.
and talk about more?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
This
totally.
is so much fun to
Yeah.
do this again
It's
with,
so
with you
fun.
guys. It is so fun.
This was
Yeah.
this. I can't believe that
This
it's
was
been
just-
over an hour.
Yeah. Has it really been?
Yeah.
I
Oh
knew
my
it was gonna go.
God.
I knew it was gonna go over an
Oh
hour.
my God.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I'm like, damn.
So what did? Wait, we talked about so we talked about our relationships woes.
Yeah,
Yeah. We talked about how I won't do one night stands nowadays,
Yeah.
but I am open to it.
yeah.
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 We talked about dick pic etiquette.
Yeah.
Oh, I
pic
said pic.
You said pick. Okay.
Dick
photo.
May I send you a dick photograph?
Can I send you a photograph of my genitalia?
Can my penis make
I
an
think-
appearance in your text
your-
message?
in your-
I think that could
Direct
that,
the message.
We should be like we should do hashtag penis like a photo paraphernalia like or photo.
I was
whatever.
there with you when you
And then
started
I-
this.
Yeah, and then I lost it. Because my brain is fried at this point. Oh, but this was so much fun. You totally
you so
have to
much.
come back.
Yeah.
This was amazing.
Yeah, can I ask you guys to jump on my show sometime
Yeah,
too?
totally.
Yeah, and we talk about.
Hell yeah, I'm down for whatever. I'm down for whatever.
So she's dancing.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's who I am. No neuroticism, just fun.
Okay.
Sorry.
No. I'm just saying okay.
I feel like I'm the
Come on.
balance of the both of you. Right? Like I should have been your other child too. Because there's a level of neuroticism that I have, but there's a
Yeah.
level of fun I like.
You like
Yeah,
Usher.
it's the
Come
Yeah,
on.
I like yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
But thank you
goodness.
guys so much. This was so much fun.
Thank
you for coming on.
enjoyed. Yeah, I was expecting it to kind of be more raunchy, but it was actually
No.
really therapeutic.
Yeah.
and cathartic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can be raunchy.
Yeah, but we-
also
Yeah.
we can be that too.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
Yeah.
but we kind of like we let our guests kind of decide
Dictate a little bit.
how
Yeah.
it's gonna
Yeah.
go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're like we don't talk about sex just for the sake of like
right.
Hashtag dictate the dick pic.
Exactly. That's going on Twitter right now. You need to start the trend.
But you know what I'm saying?
Sorry, man.
No, it's okay. It's just a lot of people think that when they hear about the show without listening to it, they have these preconceived notions that we're just talking about cum all the time.
Right.
But that's not the case. We just have whatever conversation is
It just
in our mind at that moment.
Yeah,
and
whatever-
sometimes
whatever
it's
comes
super
up.
sexy and
Yeah.
like with podcast potpourri. We were having like a miserable time. We just was like rah, and then that was just what it was, and we put it up. So it's like fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of the things that we've talked about relate to sex tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think
And
all
it's the
things
perspective.
come down
It is.
to
Yeah.
sex, whether it be like, you're male, I'm female, dick pictures or no dick pictures,
Yeah.
one night stands or not, marriage or not. It all correlates to sex,
Right.
right?
Right.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, can I send you a photo of my genitalia? So hashtag genitalia photos on Instagram.
Yeah.
Where we just make it proper.
A proper.
We make it proper.
Send
Yeah.
me a proper genitalia pic.
Yeah, genitalia photo.
Genitalia photograph.
Good madame, may I send you
A photograph
photograph
of my genitalia.
of my genitalia?
Yes.
Hashtag dictate the dick pic.
You may need to just try that on your next, I don't know, in
Yeah.
the Bay Area. Like, try that on your next go around.
I will.
and See
I will.
how that
I'm
happens.
gonna.
You know what we
Fuck it.
could do?
Yeah.
We could get you on Tinder, get you set up for dates, and then you can tell us about them.
About my
Oh my
experiences on
Yeah.
on
God,
the
that would
Tinders.
be the funnest thing
It'd be
ever.
a good experiment.
Yeah.
I'd be open for that.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, yeah.
and then you can just be like, did not have sex.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the best idea. That's the best idea.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. So more
So
on
much
that in the
content
future.
can come
so
from
much.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
all of
God.
a sudden,
It's like a regular segment.
All of a sudden, he's in a dungeon with a ball gag and being like whipped. Like, this is not what I signed up for.
but it's for the show.
I just want to get married.
So what would you be like an in the field correspondent?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm here right now. I'm at Patsy's Pizza Parlor in San Francisco. The date's going great. It looks like she wants the dick. I'm not sure.
There's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
dick
Yeah.
missiles
Yeah.
flying.
And then all of a sudden, and on a different one, you just hear screaming in the background. You're like, I'm over here at James's Diner, and it looks like it's Period Wednesday.
Oh my
and this wasn't a good
God.
plan, guys. I'm pulling out.
They're all in sync. They're all in sync.
Yeah. This is Ron Bello tossing it over to Anthony Rivera, who's in the field at the moment.
Anthony,
Thank you,
how's
Ron.
how's the vagina? It's clear skies. She wants me to fuck her. I don't know exactly where to put it because she says that it needs to go in her ass, and I wasn't prepared for this.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Do you have any tips for me at the moment, Ron Bello?
Coconut oil. If you look inside your travel bag, the cameraman should have some. Cameraman. What the fuck? And all of a sudden, some dude in a trench coat's like, "Hey, bub." You're like, "You've been following me the whole time."
Oh my gosh.
That would be.
That would actually be gold.
That would be so.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no one's ever done that.
No, that would be so good.
That would be hilarious.
We would need to blur out faces though.
That would be hilarious.
No, we can't. We
it's
can't follow with a camera. It just
yeah,
has to
yeah,
just
yeah.
give us the update.
Yeah.
We could blur out faces.
Yeah, I would have to change names for the
Yeah.
sake of the innocent.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we'd have blur out faces
Yeah.
and change
yeah.
names.
So that was out with Renee. Oops, I used her real name. I was out with Rhonda. Wink, wink. Last night,
As long as you
and
blur their face,
I
it's
gotta
fine.
say, when I told her I wanted to be friends, she said okay. So that's my report, guys. Back to you.
Talk about vanilla.
I'd be like, okay, Anthony, any sprinkles with that vanilla?
Yeah, we
and then I can have like a chart with like how masculine you are, and it's just all red. And then I'm like, over here in the balls section, we have a slight chance of jerking off.
Oh my god.
Ron, put that chance up to 100% because that's happening tonight.
It looks like he's in the process of it.
Oh my god.
Definitely his rug is getting some showers. I don't know why we're not on video, but I'm motioning.
Yeah,
It's
for
like you're in
everyone
front of
that
a
can't
front of
see,
a
it's like
screen,
you're-
like a
There's
like
a weather
media-
screen.
Yeah, like a
going
weather
on.
screen.
Yeah, there's a weather screen.
Yeah.
and then
There's a sweaty ball front coming in the northern direction.
the best part would be is you do hook up and you're like, hold on 1 second, and while you're in her, you grab the phone and be like, hey guys, what's
Oh
up?
my
Just let you know it's not actually jerk off season. I'm in the process of what's your name again? Brandy.
Her name is Bandy.
Bambi.
Bambi. Have to change her name a little
Brandy.
bit. Yeah. I think
Oh my
I think that'd be
goodness.
fun to,
That would be
so
to,
fun.
to describe my.
I mean, hey, you might meet the love of your life.
It's true. I might.
Yeah.
I might.
Let's
on
do this.
on the Tinder.
Let's do
Wait,
this.
there's also like a less ratchet version called Bumble.
No, Bumble is just that the girls decide who to
They,
talk
yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah.
They-
So it's less ratchet.
Well, they pick
it's
the people.
in society, the media, whatever you want to call it. Bumble is less ratchet than Tinder.
Than Tinder.
Is known for
Yeah,
like
for being hella ratchet.
yeah, ratchet hooking up only.
But
whatever.
if you want to see the Walmart of all dating apps, Plenty of Fish exists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
I haven't seen that one. My sister has been on there. She said guys will have a dick as their profile
Oh,
photo.
okay.
Yeah.
Like
All
so,
right, but that's sweet.
but it's
Yeah.
free, and it's so sweet.
It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Good gesture.
It's
Yeah.
Plenty of Fish is
Yeah.
It's like when you're so used to shopping at Nob Hill and then you go to Walmart for something.
Right, right.
And and the American Canyon Walmarts are actually kind of nice. I'm talking about like over here. It's like you're like, oh, what is
Well,
what
they
is
got
this?
the super Walmart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
doesn't count.
Yeah.
The odds are in its favor.
The next level is when you pay for Match.com.
Well, Match.com is for relationships.
Yeah.
I tried
yeah.
that.
That's actually
Yeah,
how
I tried it too, and it was I was like, nope.
There was garbage.
That's
Yeah.
actually how me and my ex girlfriend met. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you need
she
to
rolled her
do
eyes.
you need to do Bumble or Tinder.
All right, let's do it.
And then we need to come back and be like, okay, I was on there, for this long. I got this many. You can like track it, how many hits you get, how many times you talk, and how many people
It's
ask you for a dick pic.
social experiment.
Yeah, because
it'd be fun.
since we know you're not gonna send it, you're not a premeditated dick picker.
No.
You're gonna have to get it solicited. Like someone's gonna need to ask you for it. So I would
Yeah.
love to know how many times you were forced to send it.
Actually,
Okay.
this is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Because I've only ever asked for one,
Mm-hmm.
maybe twice out of the
Hundreds.
I wouldn't say hundreds, but
The 50s.
the 50s, 50s probably.
Yeah, the dozens.
I've asked what are you working with type of thing. Like if they're playing coy and they don't want to send it, or it seems like they don't want to send it, but when someone sends it unsolicited, I'm like, ew.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I've
know?
asked
so it's
for a
like
dick
it's a
pic.
fine line.
I've asked for a dick pic. I told Janelle about this one time. I was like, oh, here's this guy's dick. She's like, how'd you get? I was like, I asked him for it because I was like, I need to see what he's working with before I even join him to our conversation on Kick.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't even get to talk to my wife unless I've seen your dick. And
Apparently, it's called Size Queen.
yeah. So
Size queen? What is that?
that's a person who's into dick sizes.
Oh, okay.
So to all
Alright,
the ladies who are listening,
Yeah.
my wife is a size queen. My
Yas.
wife landed her.
There's Yas queens.
Yeah,
There's
well, 'cause-
size queens. Yas.
And it's not because she's developed standards. She's always had those standards.
Right.
No, I always have.
Oh wait, real quick before we end, with last week's episode or your most recent one before this one goes up, you said neither of you have encountered a porno where it's just a bunch of girls and one dude.
Yeah.
There is. It's called Reverse Gangbang. They have like a ton of episodes.
We're watching it.
Yeah, and then there's like this other one called Czech Harem, like ladies from the Czech Republic, and it's
Yeah.
like this dude from the Czech Republic, and
What are they all doing? with
it's like it
themselves?
starts off with this is the kind of porn I watch, I guess.
reverse gangbang.
Yeah, Reverse Gangbang. No, it starts off like those start off with like this one of the girls who's gonna participate in the harem interviews the dude, and then he talks about it's like how this is like a dream come true, and then they bring in all the girls and they introduce themselves one by one, and it's like wow, like
How does his dick hold up with that many women?
that's a good.
Does he do a good job, or
I don't
You
know. I
didn't
never
watch
make
it?
it that far.
oh? You're like first girl on girl. I'm done.
You know,
Yeah.
I love it because you're like, wow, we didn't really talk about sex all that much. And now you're like, no, reverse gangbang. I didn't make
Yeah.
it that far.
In closing, we're
In
talking
closing.
about.
We didn't. I did not. I did not.
Like I said, we let our guests do all the.
We should look that up
Because
we're
then,
gonna.
like in those episodes, like the girl who's interviewing is super hot, and she already has her boobs out anyway. And you're like, oh man,
while she's
here we
doing
go.
an interview,
Yeah,
she has
here
her
we
boobs
go.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, and then as they introduce the girls, I'm like, okay, this is it.
I wonder if they do it like they have to do it like multiple shots. Like he comes. He
And then
probably
they
comes
wait.
pretty quick. Then
Yeah,
they
and
wait.
then they wait like
they-
an hour.
But then they cut it all together. Like he
That's
lasted
probably
2 hours.
what they do.
They probably.
That's probably what they do.
Yeah.
That's gotta be.
Yeah.
We should film a porn and find out if that's how it works.
Go find some girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do a reverse gangbang.
You should go to the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah. On location. So
Yeah.
what is just sex from the
On
Czech Republic?
location.
We're doing a reverse gangbang. Ron just started and it's over. And since he's 42, we've got 3 days before he can start up again. It is done.
3 days.
He's out for
We'll be
72
good to go
hours.
on Wednesday. That's so funny.
Didn't even make it past the interview portion.
Her tits are out. I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah. So
All right, we'll
that
look
was
that
it.
up.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that because now we have something to watch.
Yeah.
No problem.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Anthony, for being on the show. We're
Thank
absolutely
you.
going to have you back. I love you, honey. Another week in the books.
I love you.
All right. So
I love the both of you. Can I say
Oh,
that?
we love you.
You guys are like my family.
We're gonna have a podcast family.
Yeah.
We're gonna be on your podcast. You're gonna
Yeah.
be back on our podcast.
You mean pod?
The pod.
Yeah.
Our pod. We're gonna do it.
So what? It's a just sex pod.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's like a thing from the future.
What's
So
the
what?
name
It's
of
just sex
yours?
pod.
The lens of love.
The
The
lens,
lens
of love.
Yeah.
Look for it on iTunes and
I'm sorry, man. I have to correct
Spotify.
you. It's Apple Podcast now.
it's right. They changed it. It's
Yeah.
Apple Podcast.
So it's the lens of love looking on. So what? It's just sex.
yeah. And then also everybody can follow you on Instagram.
Yeah. I'm at Merseant still. MURSEANT.
There you are. So
So
that's
I'm a man nurse.
a male.
I
nurse.
could be a man purse too. I could hold all your stuff if you want. Perfect to go shopping with.
Did that come from like your ball sack? It's called like a man purse. It's called a merce.
No, it
No,
was male
that's
nurse.
male
But
nurse.
that was
Yeah.
great. Janelle
Yeah.
just recoined your phrase.
Right.
I
right.
thought
No, I thought that was
that's-
coin purse.
Yeah,
I thought
coin.
that's
Oh,
coin
coin
purse.
purse.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Lance Armstrong only has like a small coin purse. 'Cause he only has one ball. We're gonna end on that, huh? One ball.
One ball to rule them all. Sorry, I digress
right.
again. Okay,
All
love
right.
you.
Love you.
Bye.
So what? It's just sex.
Wait a minute.